Hey, what's up out there, guys? I want to thank you as always for swinging by the channel to check out a video. You guys are all fantastic. Today, we're talking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is the 9th film from Quentin Tarantino. It's coming out to theaters this weekend. It certainly features a stellar cast headlined by Margot Robbie, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Brad Pitt. The story in this one is set in 1969 Hollywood. It follows this once highly regarded actor and his stunt double that are pretty much seeing their grip on the industry fade away as Hollywood's golden era is winding down to its final years, which has naturally just caused a shift in the business that he's not doing so well at coming to terms with. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I wouldn't consider myself a huge Quentin Tarantino fan by any means. I certainly respect his work and his creative ambition. I do love the passion that he shows for filmmaking. It really does translate well in his projects. I respect the homages that he puts in his films to the inspirations that he had from the past, and I wouldn't go as far as to say that he's overrated by any means because he's a fantastic filmmaker. He just doesn't blow me away like he seems to do with the masses. Some of his movies are a miss for me, but a majority of them I do have a good time watching. Some of them I enjoy very much, so I was really curious to see what Quentin Tarantino could do with a story like this set inside the world and culture that he loves during the era he seems to love the most. And I would have to say that he really knocks it out of the park with this movie because I thoroughly did enjoy the ride that this one took me on. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes, but it's a good time. From start to finish, the viewer is pulled into not only the settings of 1969 Los Angeles, but also Hollywood as well, and just how the business worked back then. The production design is very pristine with just detail from the makeup and wardrobe design to the practical sets. I mean, I really think Tarantino uses the backdrop so well in this film to just infuse color and time period themes into the story by using like marquees and billboards and movie theaters, movie posters, and just stage sets for the films that are being shot within this film, and all of it works together extremely well with that just classic Tarantino score to create a very rich world for this story. I loved how Tarantino structured this script because he really was able to keep all the moving pieces balanced together to just weave one single narrative that was very intriguing. The backdrop of Hollywood is set very quickly. Then Rick Dalton, played by DiCaprio, and his stunt double Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt, are dropped into the story. Dalton can see that his glory days are behind him as he feels his stars beginning to fade. He's losing his confidence. The golden era of Hollywood was much like an assembly line by studios who had their talent and crew under tight contracts, meaning there was a lot of guaranteed work at times, and with this changing of the guard, Dalton just feels lost. He does possess the skill, but he's just worried about his future because complacency has really set in. This is where Cliff the stuntman comes in, who seems sort of nonchalant about this shift in the industry all around them. He's constantly upbeat, he's jovial, seemingly like he doesn't really grasp the ramifications of what's happening, yet he clearly does, because this positive reinforcement that Cliff routinely is giving Rick Dalton is really the confidence that Dalton is missing in himself. Pitt's character clearly knows this, which just makes him a very appealing pair to watch throughout this story. On top of that is the plotline of Sharon Tate, played by Margot Robbie, who I think routinely injects this film with energy as she just goes to parties, listens to music, watches her own movies, and just really does a good job of capturing that wide-eyed purity of Hollywood. I enjoyed this contrasting theme when it was mixed in with the struggles of Dalton and Booth to kind of show the duality of the Hollywood experience and its struggles and its successes. I think Tarantino blends all these subplots together so seamlessly, yet he's still able to work in the underlying Charles Manson dynamic. And I'll admit, this is an area of the film that was a little bit worrisome to me, but without going into any spoilers at all, I gotta say I loved what he did with this aspect of the film and how he was able to use it to subtly cast this just looming dread over the entire storyline. It created a lot of curiosity and intrigue as to what direction Tarantino would take it, because you never know which direction he's going to go, which just naturally kept my interest high. As for the cast, I thought everybody was awesome, as you would expect them to be. DiCaprio was just world class. He was amazing in this multi-role performance. It wasn't as flashy as some of his past roles, but I think what he pulled off in this movie was absolutely incredible. His character is coming to grips with a major change in his career, and I thought DiCaprio just hit all his emotional cues with both strong, sincere, and comical results. He captures each persona this story requires from him with ease, and watching him flow between a range of different emotional responses within single scenes just shows why he's one of the best in the business. Brad Pitt Pitt was fantastic as well. Aside from his pinpoint timing and authentic chemistry with DiCaprio to truly sell their friendship dynamic, I thought he embodied the role of stuntman with a strong believability, and he commences to deliver a character that you cannot help but like despite having sort of a mysterious past. He's rough around the edges, he's highly capable in his field, he's also very confident but not arrogant, and Pitt really conveys that with the skill that you would expect from him. He also gives this character a genuine charm and sense of humor that just felt so natural. The comedic beats of this film are nicely timed, and DiCaprio and Pitt just land Tarantino's snarky humor flawlessly. And as you would expect, Margot Robbie was excellent as Sharon Tate. I thought she just captured that charismatic innocence of the Hollywood star in the era on the rise. The energy would always pick up every time she was on screen, simply from just her warm-hearted personality, the vibrant visual passion that she had for life, for making movies, for the industry itself. And I thought Robbie brought this role all it needed, and in addition to the lead trio was just a collection of great familiar faces that all come in to make the most out of their smaller roles. Tarantino often uses the same performers in his movies, and in this one it was fun to just routinely see people pop up in various characters, and I thought they all were able to leave their own little imprint on this story. And without going into spoilers, I'm just going to leave it at that. I had a good time with this movie. It's a beautifully crafted film that doesn't just tell a story, it creates an atmosphere and a moody vibe that all work together well. Tarantino's passion for this era in Hollywood shine bright in this movie, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gets 90% on the entertainment meter. It does run a little bit long, but the progression does build the characters nicely, so it wasn't too much of a hindrance. Now for today's My Silver Screen recommendations, I'm going to be selecting 1997's LA Confidential, Hollywoodland, starring Ben Affleck and Adrian Brody and Barton Fink from the Coen brothers, for films that are all set in and around the old era of Hollywood. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.